Welcome back to the Lazy Geniuses podcast. I'm Flannan, joined by Mickalore and Pinhead over here to my right. They're not here with me, but it doesn't matter. Today's topic, well, what we're going to start out with is some culture. Anybody have any comments on that?
Culture. We all have culture. Some more than others. Talking to you, white people, aka all of us. Yeah, I was playing chess.
But continue.
I'm in the middle of an intense chess game.
Okay, so less of culture, but more of heritage. That's people. Everybody has some kind of heritage, whether it's French, German, Russian,
Yeah, you're right.
American, Canadian. Everyone has heritage, no matter who you are or where you're from. And a lot of people, heritage means a lot to people. People take it more to heart than others, and some don't.
You're right.
And just because heritage and disregarding heritage, the conversation on heritage, um, race. That's people make fun of about just because of their different race or different color, just different.
Just different in
Everybody's
general.
different. It shouldn't be the color of your skin that should make you hate each other.
I completely agree with that. Just because it shouldn't happen doesn't mean it does not.
Now, I'm not going to deny that racism hasn't existed before. It's been around. Racism's been around a long time, and just my opinion, I don't think there's any way to really stop racism from
Yes,
ever
there
happening.
is. A short drop and a sudden stop. But yeah, you're right. There's always going to be somebody left that has that ideology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else on that topic?
Nah.
Weaponry.
All right, let's go to weapons.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the Japanese samurai sword?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Uh, in my opinion, that is one of the finest weapons in existence.
In my opinion, I think that you're a weeb.
How so?
Caleb, I'm allowed to like Japanese culture
No.
without liking anime.
I was just messing with you.
Um, uh, not only were they sharp, but they were extremely lightweight and easy to maneuver, and they were made of extremely strong steel. And the way the handles were, they were extremely comfortable to hold. And it was very easy to quickly block an attack or strike without dying immediately.
Yeah.
So I think we all know from where we're from, everybody owns a gun. Everybody.
Yes.
Now, what are your ideas on gun laws? Just
Gun laws. I think that they shouldn't be illegal, but they should only be owned by people that are in the right mental state to own a gun.
Yeah.
And have the right background.
Yes. Because the only reason that they're trying to do gun laws is because they don't realize the fact that they're giving them to psychopaths.
My opinion. I think guns should only be owned by high authority figures. By that, I mean...
Like British
Not-
rules?
By that, I mean, like... Yeah, pretty much the British.
Yeah.
Now, just not disregarding their officer laws. Now, our officers can have guns. I support that. Our officers can have guns. I do support that. But citizens, I don't think I don't think just an everyday person should have a gun. That causes crime rate to be at an all-time high. Now, I do think if we did get rid of guns, like right now, riots will definitely happen, and definitely they will.
Definitely. It should.
But everything comes to an end eventually. We've seen it before. We've seen the what was his name? George Floyd? No, was it? No.
Riots. Because of guns. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Who was it that cop sat on that man's neck for?
That was George Floyd.
It was George Floyd. All right,
The man that died was George Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I meant. George Floyd. That's what it said. Anyways, you know how there were riots and loots, all about that.
Yep.
And then something new came along, and then they had something else to riot about. There's you don't really see much anymore about George Floyd, so that all protests and loots come to an end, or at least in the media. Now, they probably don't stop in some certain cities, but you just don't see it happen.
Yeah.
Now, I do think if guns were removed today, there would be riots, there would be loots, there would be people mad out of their mind. But then something new will come along. Something new will eventually come along that people will worry about.
Yeah.
That's how it works. That's how it works in the U.S. People are mad about one thing, and then another thing pops up, and then what they were rioting and looting about earlier is
Americans like to be angry.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, I don't want to get into anything political. Now, I absolutely despise politics. I never want to get into politics whenever I'm in an argument with somebody. Saying that I don't like guns and I want to get rid of them isn't saying that look at me, I'm a Democrat. I don't give two shits. But really, I don't care. I could care less about if you say I'm a Democrat or a liberal or conservative. I really do not like to bring politics in it. And if someone does bring politics in it, well then that's just on them because I'm gonna fire right back.
Yeah.
I try not to bring it in, but if they do, then tough luck. I'm gonna hit them at their weak spot. That's just how I am, and that's how Americans are. We like to argue, and I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with my opinion. I'm just putting it out there. I would like to hear your opinions too. I would like to hear your opinions. Not to argue.
I don't really have any opinions for it, really.
All right. But yeah, and what I've seen is coming from my perspective. That's just how it rolls in the United States. One thing happens, it lasts for maybe 2 months at the most, and just something new happens, and we move on. and it's not a good thing, and it's not a good thing. I can say that it's definitely a bad thing. But something new comes along to worry about, and people just don't care anymore. And that's what's wrong. Now, anything else you have to say on guns?
Not really.
McClure?
Huh? What? Huh? On what?
Do you have any comments?
On what?
Okay, moving on. So,
Everyone should have a gun.
all right.
You should have like a test like
So,
each 6 months to see if you're like still mentally capable and sane to have a gun. But besides that, everyone should have have the right to own a gun. Like there needs to be some type of system to test if they're still eligible to have that gun.
all right. So,
During wars and stuff, there's some stuff that is banned, like they're like mustard gas and stuff like that. But like, if
and I do agree, guns should be used for cops, soldiers, stuff like that. But just for an everyday civilian, I don't think they should.
if if their mental health is fine and they can prove they can handle themselves with a gun and they can they're not crazy, then yeah, I think everyone should have the right to own one.
All right. So, what are your, just before I get into anything, just on the topic of United States and all that, democracy.
I don't think it really works.
Democracy.
It doesn't work with big groups.
For me, this is how I see it. This is how I see democracy. Democracy. Say you're on a boat. You're on a boat, all right? And there's two people running to be the captain of that boat. One says that they'll get you anywhere you want to go, anytime or anywhere. The other one says they'll give you free boat rides, and that's it. Which one do you think people are going to choose for? Because
Free
we know
boat
boats
rides.
cost free boat rides. Because boats they cost a lot. I've been on a boat before. Cost me like $2,000. Cost my family $2,000 just to get on that boat. It was a ferry too. We didn't have a car. We were just trying to get across the river. And then what happens when people vote for the person who says they'll give you free boat rides, and he wins?
They're not.
Crash.
Yeah.
And that's how democracy crashes. The whole boat crashes. Everyone on the boat. That's the United States. When we vote for somebody that can't do what they promise,
It's just
or can't do something correctly.
I think the fact that democracy is basically what you can say to convince people to like you, not what you do to make people like you.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure what ideology works. I just know it's not democracy.
Well, you know there could be a new one that people.
Because that's how we
Make
all
up.
crash. Yeah. But that's how we all crash.
I think that we should, if we're if we're
vote
gonna
for
make a new
Congress
one that's
and-
better than everyone, we should look at all of them, all governments, and see which one works, which one doesn't. So we take that and we fix each problem.
Which one is working?
They all have their issues, but if we
But
can
then-
fix them, then it'd be good.
Then you have nationalism and dictatorships, which is ran by one person, you don't get to choose who that person is, and they could do anything at any time to ruin everything. And then you have communism and socialism, which are just as equally bad as any not religion,
Government.
ideology. So to me, government, yes, they none of them really seem to work. Now every ideology and type of government works on paper. It works on paper. It sounds like it can work, and that's what democracy is.
Exactly.
Everyone's free, and we all have rights. But when it's in practice, it took us till about 2017. I don't know, not maybe 2017, just to realize how some Americans realize how bad democracy really is, how it can make everyone crash. And back to the boat subject. If you vote for the wrong captain, you all die. You crash, you die. I'm not saying that if you pick the wrong president of the United States, you die. I'm just putting that in terms of the boat. But if you vote for the wrong president and you don't think it through, that's how the country collapses. That's how the economy fails. That's how the people fail. That's how the factories and trades fail.
And the fact about
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, to add on the fact where you said there is like to pick the wrong president. I feel like the last year or not last year, but oh god, it's been 4 years since Trump was got voted. But still, when Trump got voted, I feel like it wasn't that people were looking at what he did; they were going with the trend. They wasn't looking at what he did. It's the same thing with Biden, though. Yeah. So it's really just a gamble.
But let's talk. You know, remember we all. I'm pretty sure we all remember Hillary Clinton.
I do not like Hillary Clinton.
And I think the number one reason why that vote was so close is because almost every American, and that's all I see out of that. They just wanted a female president.
Exactly. Didn't she have
because there's never been a female president?
Didn't she have like thousands of deleted Gmails or emails?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm speaking from a few different sources. Many of them are not very good, so I'm gonna settle down before I get too riled up.
Yeah. So that's why democracy scares me.
Yeah. There's also the fact. There's also another factor in that.
Pick the wrong person. The whole thing, the whole place, the boat, the country, the plane, whatever, will fail eventually.
On top of people not voting on, like, example, the captain of the ship example that you gave, the system is also corrupt. Yeah. So that could be. So there's so many factors at play that it's a gamble more than anything.
So we know, I think almost every year, like since Bill Clinton has been elected. I'm not too sure though. I'm not 100% sure, but I think almost every president that's been elected, there has been some kind of rival between Republicans and Democrats.
That's how they get elected.
Because of what they think is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just why I'm not quite a big fan on democracy. And I'm not sure what kind of ideology or type of government really works.
Well, it's not which one works, but which one do you think is better than democracy? And then there was
I
one
don't think
that's
there's anything. They're all equally terrible. I think they're all equally terrible. Now there is just more. There are more types of governments than just socialism, communism, dictatorships, nationalism, and democracy. There's
there's a
quite a few
boatload
more
of them.
than just that, and yeah, there's a ton of them, and you don't really see them in practice anymore because they're not many places use that anymore.
Yeah, but
Not many countries use that kind of ideology anymore. Any other comments before we move on to the next
No.
subject?
Yeah.
No more?
No more comment.
No.
All right.
Okie dokie. Does anyone have any other subjects or comments?
I think we good.
No.
All right, then I do believe that may wrap it up.
Yeah.